North Carolina 811 is a nonprofit organization that was established by the utility owners to facilitate communication between anybody who's doing any kind of excavation and the utility owners who have underground facilities. So our prime mission is to facilitate that communication either through a phone call where folks call us and say that they're going to do some excavating, or through online through our remote ticket entry program. We actually have on our website at NC811.org a list of all the different things that we ask them to be prepared to answer when they come in. But essentially we're looking for the address of the location that they're going to be doing the work, the nearest cross street to the main street that they might be on, especially if they're in a rural area, the distance from that street. If the area can't be easily described that they're going to work in, for example, let's say they're doing a small thing like maybe putting in a sign, we ask that they would go and white line the area with white paint or flags so that when the folks come out, they'll be able to see exactly where it is they're going to be doing the work, and then they can mark around that. The type of work they're going to be doing, if they're going to be doing any boring, meaning drilling under the ground in a horizontal fashion, if they're going to be doing any blasting or explosives, we need to know the time that they're planning to dig. And we take all that information in and their contact information, preferably also an email address, because then we allow them to be able to go and check the status of their ticket online through a positive response system. For professional excavators, they can go online and get training to be able to create their one-call tickets online through what we call RTE, or remote ticket entry. And basically it's a great service for them because it allows them to create the tickets at any time. They get to use the same maps that we have in place for that the CSRs use when they take a phone call. And they also then get a copy at the end of that process of the ticket to have on hand in that. And for the majority of people who are homeowners, that's why the 811 system was put into place with those 3 digits. It's a national program, so it works in any state. If they just dial 811 on their phone, it takes them to us, and we walk them through any project. We ask that they're going to be, if they're going to be digging, whether it be a mailbox, a tree, a fence, any type of work where they're going to be disturbing the earth, we ask that they give us a call. It's free, it doesn't cost them anything, and the marking doesn't cost them anything. The utility owners are the ones who will come out and mark that facility. All the utilities, whether it be the gas company, the electric company, the telecommunications company, or yourselves, water authorities and that have facilities, they register where those facilities are with our organization. So when the homeowner, for example, calls in and they give the address, our system says PWC has some facilities that might be in conflict. So you guys have provided us the contact information, which we then submit the ticket to you to say, Joe Smith is going to excavate at this time in this location. And then at that point, they go out and they use what they call a locator device, which they will walk over the ground to try to detect where the location is. They'll induce a signal on a metal strip in the ground or on the line or the wire. And then they walk almost like a metal detector. They'll walk over until they get the signal, and then they'll apply paint over the top of where that facility is to let the excavator know there's a line there. Basically, we follow a national standard for color codes. White is only to be designated for proposed excavation, and that's the only color that anyone should use as an excavator to identify where it is that they're going to be digging. And the reason we emphasize that is because there are some folks who have used other colors, and that can be confusing because the colors have a very clear reason for being. Red is electric power. Yellow is going to be gas, oil, steam, petroleum, or some other kind of gaseous material. Orange is all your telecommunications, so any cable, any telephone lines, those will all be marked in orange. Blue is potable water. Purple is reclaimed water or slurry lines, and green is sewers and drain lines. So there's a tremendous amount of underground facilities in the ground. Most people have no idea where they are. To hit an electric line, you could take out power to a large area, you could injure yourself, you could damage the property. Gas, a whole other situation with gas. You can create a situation where you hit the line and cause the gas to release, potentially ignite. That's a problem. For communication lines, a lot of people don't understand how many people run businesses out of their home, and fiber that goes through a neighborhood that could take out several businesses, or large-scale 911 activity for someone who might need to make an emergency call. So you want to leave it up to the utilities to be able to tell you, come out actually physically be able to show you where those are. That's why it's so critical that people call. And it doesn't matter if it's a professional excavator using a bobcat or a large piece of equipment to dig, or somebody using a post hole digger to put in a mailbox. So we ask that any excavation give us a minimum of 2 full business days before they're going to dig, and a maximum of 10 full business days. So we say that if somebody is digging and they've done their due diligence and the marks are there, but they do hit a line or come into contact, we ask that they contact that utility directly. They can notify us if they've hit a line, and we will make a notification for them, but particularly if it's a situation where it's a power line or a gas line, we ask that they call 911. So we'll ask that they get to a safe distance, especially if it's a gas-related situation, because you don't want to introduce anything that could be an ignition source to an escaping gas. But if you want to get to a safe distance, and call 911 if you expect that there's any danger or health to anyone around the area or yourself. Some years ago, when 811 became a national number, they also established April as a national safe digging month, and so it's recognized across the country. Different states do different things to recognize the month. In the state of North Carolina, we have a governor's proclamation that announces it as Safe Digging Month, and you'll see different types of activities around that emphasize the importance of calling 811. It's a very good month because it's leading into a lot of work that people are going to be doing in the springtime, so it's a perfectly placed opportunity for us to educate about digging safely.